Evening guys, your boy Vexed here. We are back with the Aero League races for Season 10, Round 1 with your Tier 1 drivers. Obviously the guys are out for a bit of a practice at the moment, so I will continue obviously the commentaries once we start qualifying. Just going to take a quick comfort break. So if you've only just joined and this is your first time with us, obviously this is the Aero League Racing's Tier 1 drivers in Season 10 Round 1. We're here at Interlagos. I'm your boy Vexed, it's Vexman. I will be your commentator for this evening. I should take you through proceedings. Obviously the guys are just out for practice at the moment, and we will rejoin as they start qualifying. So before we get into qualifying, let's have a quick look at the grid. So we have got Iggy. Iggy is a name that I have seen before. Obviously Chris, we had Chris last season, didn't we? He was in the Peugeot with Skinsey. Kyle is a name new to me. I think, wasn't he in the Tier 2 previously? Quite possibly. Syndra, obviously we know Syndra. Everybody knows Syndra. Viking Dog, another name that I've not seen yet in the Aero League Racing, so maybe a debut there, but he is Tier 1, so I presume he would have come up through the leagues. Tieps, obviously Tieps we know, Tieps 44. We've said Syndra. Isaac Mitch was, I think he's the current champion, isn't he? I think he won last season, is that right? Tell me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Yeah, Isaac Mitch, he was in the Dodge Viper, I believe it was, last season, and he was pretty rapid, wasn't he? Capolero GT, he's there, he's in the GT40. Can't remember what he was in last season. Ben, we know Ben. Ben was in the McLaren last season. RZ, so RZ, a new name to me. Unless he's changed his screen name for this season. We did have a few Americans, didn't we, in the previous season. Brexit Geezer, that's a new one. He may have come up from one of the other leagues. Distinct Marco, I think we saw Distinct Marco last season. Could be wrong though. SV5, we definitely saw SV5, didn't we? He made his debut last season. I think it was a debut, and what a cracking debut it was. Message saying that qualifying will start shortly. Let me just check that. I can't even see it, can I? But I believe qualifying is due to start any time now. what's name is in this time around. So he's in the Mercedes AMG GT3. I believe that's a newer version of the two. Okay, so lobby is being reset, and I believe this is going into qualifying now. Who will be first out onto the track? So everybody jostling for position, everyone trying to get out, revving them engines. I think we're going to see some fast laps. Trying to get who's at the front of the field. So that was someone that was fairly clear. I think this is a guy. I think Isaac is leading up the field as they come out onto the track for the first time, the first lap of qualifying. Well, this will be the out lap. So coming to turn 6. Actually looking like the guys are actually racing on the out lap, so maybe just trying to test the waters and see what the other guys got to offer. But I think Isaac may be trying to get a bit of breathing space. He's going to let Viking Dog take the lead of the qualifying train. So at the moment, Viking Dog will be the first person to start his first timed lap. As they come around the final turn, obviously that kink as they come up to the start-finish straight, that could be classed as a turn. So Viking Dog, first flying lap. Down into turn 1, braking at about 100, maybe 75 meter mark. Down into second gear. Through there nicely. He is in the Corvette. Now approaching turn 3. Was that 4? Into 5. Up to the windy section. Everyone loves a bit of the windy section, don't they? We'll go back on board in a minute just to see how Viking Dog fares. So Isaac Mitch actually getting a 0.5 second penalty there. He's going to pull out, let Syndra take that place. No point in slowing it down. He's actually got a 2.5 second penalty there. So that is not going to help him in his qualifying efforts. So we're back on Dog with Viking, back on board, should I say, with Viking Dog as he comes up to finish his first timed lap. What is it going to be? And it is a 1:31.1. So provisional pole at the moment for Viking Dog. And in fact, Distinct Marco has moved into the lead. BX Royal, he's up there as well. Isaac, he's pulled into the pits. He picked up that penalty, didn't he? So maybe fairing, taking on a fresher set of tyres. So as it stands at the moment, BX Royal, he's up there. He's in first place currently, provisional pole for 1:30.538. Capolero GT 300s behind him in that Ford GT. He's actually pulled out to let BX through there. So maybe not on a lap at the moment, maybe he's on a cool down lap. So Distinct Marco goes 4 thousandths behind Capolero at the moment. He's in third place currently. Viking Dog has dropped to 4th with his 1:31.1. Kyle was there in 5th. He's got a 1:31.3. Iggy is 6th with a 1:31.5. Brexit Geezer, he's currently on a 1:31.5 as well. He's only 2 thousandths behind Iggy at the moment. And then we got Syndra is actually .009 off of Brexit Giza. So very, very close at the moment in the early stages of qualifying. He's got a 31.5, has Sindra. RZ has got a 31.6. TEP's 31.9. So all pretty much within the 31s, 30s and 31s. 32.06.2 for Chris. 33.5 for Name Is. Ben, 151.3. And Isaac, all the way down at the back there at the moment. His fastest lap currently is a 121.8. But that was an out lap, wasn't it? So his actual fastest time lap at the moment is a 2-minute 1. But he is coming up now. Lap 3. This is going to be his first proper timed lap. Let's see what he gets. And no, he's actually on an out lap, so I lied. Viking Dog. He's managed to slip up into first place. He's only 100th quicker than BX Royal. Can BX Royal do anything to retake that pole position? Viking Dog managed to find just enough to be able to slip it ahead of BX. Who was that? I think that was Iggy. Here we can see there with a slight 0.5 second penalty. So BX actually now in traffic. Was that Sindra kindly moving over for him? Iggy, has he improved? He has improved. He's done a 130.7. Will he improve this time round? He's got to slip a distinct Marco. In fact, he's just pulled into the pit, so no, he won't be going again. Oh no, actually no. Yeah, no, it was, wasn't it? We was on board with Iggy. So distinct Marco, he's done a 130.6. That's better than his previous. That's put him up to third place. So 130.4 is the standard at the moment. 130.5 for second place. 130.6 for third. 130.7 for fourth. 130.8 for Kyle. 130.9 for Capillary GT. Has he just beat that time? No. 130.9 for Name Is as well. He's only 7 thousandths off Capillary GT. Ben, 131.1. So he's the first in the 131s, 8th place. RZ, he's on a 131.1 as well. Chris, 131.3. Brexit Giza, 131.3. Sindra, 131.3. TEP's, high 31.3. 31.8 for Isaac, so he has improved, but not enough at the moment. And SV's current fastest time is a 133.4. And at the moment finding himself in 15th place. Will that change as he comes out? No, so he is. Yeah, he's down there at the bottom of the order at the moment. So Viking, he's on an out lap currently. Show a little on board with the current fastest guy on track. Nice and smooth for the first sector. This is start sector 2 now. Definitely running the track limits through that last section. Through the final couple of turns of the middle sector. This is the infield. He crosses the final split. He's actually down on his time into the final sector. I don't think he's going to improve this time round. going to pull into the pits there, so proving me wrong again. And yeah, he didn't improve that time around. BX, is he on a flyer? He may be. 130.6, so not improving there. 130.538 is his fastest, that was a 606. So on the final lap, we've currently got Viking Dog, provisional pole. BX Royal is currently second place. We've got Distinct Marco, third place. Isaac is currently sat in fourth. We've got Iggy sat in fifth place. He's in the bathtub. Hot Tub Time Machine. We've got Kyle in sixth place. Aero GT, he's in seventh. He isn't going to improve. He's got a 2-second penalty. Brexit Geezer, he's currently sat in eighth place. Can he improve? He has been going faster, hasn't he? He may be able to improve on this lap. Name is, he's given up now, hasn't he? He's going to settle for 9th place. Chris is 10th, Ben 11th, RZ 12th, Syndra 13th, TX 14th, and SV5 15th. So at the moment it's looking like Viking Dog might be the man to beat. Will his tyres last though on that Corvette? We'll have to wait and see. And he actually does improve there, so he's gone a whole 100 faster. He did a 130.329, his previous was a 130.4. BX, does he improve? No, not actually improving that time around, so he's going to settle for second. So I think this is your grid order as it stands. Viking Dog, BX Royal, Distinct Marco, Isaac Mitch, Iggy, Brexit Geezer, Kyle, Aero GT, Name is, and we'll see the rest of them. We can see them there actually. So Name is 404, Chris, Ben, RZ, Syndra, TX, SV5, and that is your grid. So we're just waiting for the guys to have a quick break, I think, and then the racing shall start. Obviously, we start with a sprint race, don't we? And that will set the reverse grid for the feature race, unless the format has changed this season. Obviously, the feature being a 40-minute endurance. So we're on board with Viking Daddy. We're waiting for the lights to go out. The lights are there. Season 10, round 1, let's go. So Viking Dog getting a good getaway there. BX Royal, he looks like he's got the better getaway. He's got the inside to turn 1. Viking Dog's going to hold it around the outside. We've also got Isaac Mitch in the background there and Distinct Marco having a bit of a battle. I think Distinct Marco, he's actually lost that place, hasn't he, to Isaac. So Viking Dog still your race leader currently. We've got BX Royale following him. Isaac Mitch moving up to 3rd place. Distinct Marco, he's there in 4th. Iggy 5th. Kyle is currently 6th. Brexit Geezer, he's being pressured now by Aero GT. I think Kyle just going into the back of Iggy there slightly as well. Aero GT's there in 8th. Then we've got a gaggle of cars here. We've got almost 3 wide as they come down this back straight here. So we've got Chris heading it up. No, he's actually behind Syndra now. Syndra, Name is, and Chris all very close to each other. We've got Ben creeping up there as well. So he's trying to make some moves. We've got the 2 teammates of TX and SV5 in the M6. 13th and 14th, and then RZ in that Porsche. He's there in 15th place. So Viking Dog still currently 1st place. As they're coming up to the final sector now. He's managed to have a good start, hasn't he? He got a good getaway. Looking like BX may have taken that 1st place, or he may have taken the lead of the race in turn 1, but it wasn't to be that time around. He is still very close though, isn't he? So maybe in a position to use that slipstream, perhaps later breaking into turn 1. We're going to have to wait and see. Has BX got the momentum? As we've got Distinct Marco actually managing to get back past Iggy. So moving back up to 3rd place there for Distinct Marco. Looking like everybody's got through turn 1 again, fairly unscathed. So Distinct Marco up to 3rd place. He's in the Lexus RCF. We've got Iggy there in the Volkswagen VGT Hot Tub Time Machine. Isaac Mitch, he's in 5th place. He's being followed by Carl. Carl really starting to pressure him now. He's trying to look for a way past Isaac. He didn't have the greatest of qualifying, did he? But he's managed to make up a few places now. Looking like he's on a bit of a charge. Kyle, he's there in 6th place. Brexit Geezer, he's doing a bit better than his teammate, isn't he? He's currently 7th. Aero GT is heading up the front of this other train of about 8 cars, I think it is. Namus is there 9th. Sindra 10th. Tiep's 11th. So Tiep's making a few moves now. He's managed to move up a few places. We've got Chris there in 12th. Ben is 13th. SV5 is 14th. And RZ still currently in 15th. So Viking Dog is still managing to lead the race. He's not managed to get away yet though. BX is making sure that he's staying firmly in that slipstream. He's doing a very good job at the moment, isn't he? Viking Dog not having to go too defensive at the moment. BX not really close enough, but he definitely closed up through that last braking zone, didn't he? So maybe able to go for a switch back as they come through here. I think he's going to look for the move, isn't he, into the next turn. Viking Dog having to cover it off early. That's great defensive driving. He's showing BX the long way round. Edging him out ever so slightly. He has given him enough room though. So definitely respect shown between these two. BX still trying to find his way past. Viking Dog, he's defending very well at the moment though, isn't he? In fact, these top 3 managing to gap the rest of the field somewhat. In fact, Iggy's there as well. He's not too far off the back of Distinct Marco, who is currently in 3rd place. But they are looking to try and gap the rest of the field, so it's looking like Viking Dog, his tyres are looking a little bit worse for wear already, aren't they? In fact, no, everybody's probably are about the same. Distinct Marco looking like he's saved his tyres a little bit better than the front 2. And so BX still firmly pressuring Viking Dog. I think he's looking to try and make him make a mistake. He's defending so well, that's got to be his only tactic, I think, that he can employ. Unless he goes for a late lunge. Wanted to stay within that slipstream range though. He doesn't want to lose that, because I do feel like Viking Dog will start gapping him. But BX doing a great job at the moment, isn't he? So we'll come back to these two in just a second. So Distinct Marco, he managed to get that 3rd place back off of Iggy. He's actually gapped Iggy somewhat now. He's a few car lengths behind, isn't he? Is Iggy. I think he's going to have to start bailing water out of that hot tub soon. Brexit Geezer is now up to 5th place. Having a cracking race at the moment in that Porsche 911 RSR. So Aero GT, I think he was there, wasn't he? So he's dropped to 6th. Name is, we've got a battle in the background there. Name is 404 and Isaac having a bit of a ding dong. Name is going a long way round. He's going to get it done. So Isaac's staying ahead for the meantime, but has he got a switch back nearly? Oh, that was great racing there from these two. Almost still side by side for the S's. Namis has had to back out though, hasn't he? Not wanting any contact there. Oh, he looked a little bit out of shape as they came into that last turn there. Into the final sector. Will he be able to get past him on the start-finish straight? In fact, I think we can see the 2 variations of the AMG there. So I think Name is in the newer one of the 2. Isaac is in the older AMG GT3. Driving it very well at the moment though, isn't he? Almost managing to stretch out of that slipstream range. The Name is settling for 8th place at the moment. He looks a little bit out of shape there. Tieps is up to 9th. Or has he dropped to 9th? I think he'd made a few more places up, hadn't he? RZ finally managing to make up some positions. He's up to 10th place. Kyle's there in 11th. I feel like he's dropped back a few places. I think he's in a Subaru BRZ. We've got SV5. He's currently sat in 12th place. He's got Ben trying to pressure him now. Ben in the other GT40. Or is it just a Ford GT? I think it might just be the Ford GT. Syndra, uncharacteristically out of place in 14th. And then Chris all the way at the back. I don't know what happened to Chris. There must have been some shenanigans somewhere that we missed. But he is definitely on the back foot at the moment, isn't he, is Chris? Didn't expect that. Viking Dog, he's started to extend that gap now. He wants to ideally try and get out of that slipstream range. He's only going to be pulling Viking Dog along. I mean, Distinct Marco. Oh, in fact, Distinct Marco managed to get past BX, so we missed that. I think BX may be having a moment, and that's allowed Distinct Marco to get through. Actually stealing the fastest lap there for 1:30.454. So he's on a bit of a charge at the moment, isn't he? Distinct Marco. Maybe he's going to be the one to be able to pressure Viking Dog. He kept closing that gap, but not really able to set anything up. It definitely looks like he's on a charge at the moment, doesn't it? And Iggy still not too far off the back of him as well, so Iggy doing really well at the moment in that Volkswagen VGT. Oh, there's a bit of contact there between Viking and Distinct. I think Marco having to back out slightly. Not wanting to be under investigation from the stewards. Fellow countryman at the front there though, showing us Brits up at the moment. Distinct Marco looking like he's in a good position at the moment. It looks like he may be able to challenge Viking for the race lead into turn 1. He's actually stayed out wide though. I know he's cut off to the inside early, and he has. He's managed to get that move done. That was a very ballsy move there from Distinct Marco. We got a new race leader. He's moved up to the race lead. That was a cracking move, to be fair. Looking like Viking Daddy, actually, Viking Dog on the back foot now. He's going to lose that position to BX, is he? BX, he's taken the advantage of that. I think Viking Dog just caught a little bit on the back foot there. Not expecting Distinct Marco to go for that move, but he got it done. And I think this may even turn out to be the final lap of this sprint. So Distinct Marco, he made the move and he made it count. Oh, okay, so maybe actually a 15-minute sprint race, because we just passed the 10-minute mark. And he's actually starting to stretch that gap as well. So Distinct Marco, he saved enough of that rubber. He's managed to create a bit of a gap now. He's up to a second. He's definitely not going to be giving Viking Dog that toe. Viking Dog still under pressure from BX, and Iggy started creeping up there as well, so Iggy is definitely back in the game, isn't he? He's going to be able to start challenging for that top 3, at least 3rd position, but BX still firmly trying to pressure Viking Dog for that 2nd place. And he's managed to get it done, has he? Viking Dog inside for this one. Oh, he's managed to stay ahead. So very nearly getting that move done there. Great driving from BX and Viking. And look at Distinct Marco go. He is definitely starting to stretch his legs now, isn't he? As BX pulls alongside again. Viking covering off the inside. Can BX get the switch back? No, Viking is just too good at defending at the moment. Iggy, they're going to have to watch out for Iggy as well. Look at Iggy. Iggy has got some pace on him at the moment, hasn't he? Maybe he's saved a bit more of that rubber, and he has, so he's able to lean on them tyres a little bit more. Is that going to be track limits? No, he's got away with it, so definitely testing the track limits at the moment. But Iggy may be able to... Oh, he's going to shake things up, isn't he? For sure. He's definitely trying to. So meanwhile, BX and Viking Dog still having a massive battle. Iggy, he's trying to be part of that as well. Doing very well at the moment. Great racing from these top four. In fact, it looks like if they're not careful, Brexit Geezer starting to creep up now as well. So Brexit Geezer just shortly out of the frame there. Only a few car lengths back now though is Brexit Geezer. Iggy closer than he has been to these two, battling for second place. BX has pulled alongside again. He's going for the outside this time. He's going to have the inside for the next one, and he manages to get it done. That was a great move there from BX and Iggy. Iggy's followed through as well. Has he? No, Vikings holding on to it. Oh, that was unlucky there for Viking Dog. But what a move there by BX. That was a fantastic move. He managed to get it done. Viking Daddy, he's still there though, still being pressured by Iggy. Still in third place. Meanwhile, Marco, he's kind of running away with it a bit, isn't he? He's 2.5 seconds up the road, nearly 3 seconds. But BX, he managed to make the move when it counted, and he's up to second place again. Viking Dog still firmly putting the pressure on though, isn't he? Almost running into the back of BX then. Iggy, come on Iggy. Iggy wants some of it as well. He's really starting to push that Volkswagen VGT. I think he's conscious of Brexit Geezer as well. Brexit Geezer is starting to catch up to him. They are going to have to watch out for him as well. But Aero GT, he's going to be starting to pressure Brexit Geezer soon. He's almost right there with him. He's almost in a position for an overtake. He's not quite close enough at the moment. But as they come into turn 1 for the 10th time, will he be close enough? I do fancy he might be, you know. He may be setting up a move. Brexit Geezer, he has closed right up, hasn't he? He's closed right up in the braking zone, but both of them are starting to get closer than ever to the top 3. Top 4 even. Let's have a quick run down through the grid then. We've got Distinct Marco still in first place. BX Royal, he's in second. We've got Iggy. Iggy! He's managed to get it done, has he? I think he has. Go on, Iggy. What a drive from Iggy. Looking like he was on a bit on the back foot for the first stint, but absolutely coming to fire in the latter stage of this race. Absolute cracking move there. That's unlucky Viking. Viking is now down to 4th place. Still trying to re-challenge Iggy for that 3rd. So, as I said, Iggy now in 3rd place. Vikings in 4th. We've got Brexit there in 5th. Aero GT currently 6th. Tieps is up to 7th. We've got Name is there in 8th. Isaac Mitch is 9th. Kyle 10th. RZ 11th. I think he was up to 10th, wasn't he? So dropping a place. SV5, he's there in 12th. Ben 13th. Sindra 14th. Chris 15th. And we've gone board with the race leader. What a cracking race he's had. Not the best of starts. He dropped down the field, didn't he? But saved enough of them tyres to be able to make it count at the end. And he takes the checkered flag. Great win there for Distinct Marco. BX Royal. Royal's going to come in 2nd. Iggy 3rd place. Viking Dog, that's unlucky mate, 4th place. Brexit Geezer 5th. Aero GT in 6th. We got Name is, no, Tieps 7th. Name is 8th. Isaac 9th. Kyle is 10th. SV5 11th. RZ 12th. Ben 13th. Sindra 14th. Chris, he's going to bring it home in 15th. Well, that was the first race, guys. That was a sprint one. What a cracking race that one was. And next one will be the feature. So I believe that will set the grid for the reverse grid, which is how they were running it in the previous season, unless things have changed this season. What a cracking drive there from Distinct Marco. Some brilliant racing on display in that first sprint race. Obviously lobby reset now. What a cracking race from Brexit Geezer as well. That was a turnout for the books, wasn't it? He didn't really seem to make any impact at the start of the race, but same as who was it? I can't remember now. So what happened to Skinsey? Did he drop a league, or is he just not racing this evening? Is there a stand-in for him? Can't quite remember how everything finished last season. But if anyone who's watching the stream could let me know, that'd be fantabby-dozy. And if you've joined and you're wondering who the hell is this nutter, it's your boy Vexed. It's Vex, man. Obviously, Ultimate Racing League commentator and driver, and also currently commentating for your Aero League races in the Tier 1, or with the Tier 1 drivers. So obviously the guys are having a quick break now, and the racing will resume with the 40-minute endurance feature race. Yeah, BX has just said in the chat they're starting soon. So we'll give it a minute or two. I think the guys probably getting a well-deserved refreshment. Possibly having a wee break. So Distinct Marco taking the win in the first race. I think he'll be starting from the back, won't he? Obviously, if they're going by the previous season's format. Which I think they are. I've not been handed a memo or anything to say otherwise, so I think this is it. Here we go. So it's going to be a rolling start as always. So obviously Chris finishing last. He's going to start on pole. Sindra second from last. He's there in second to see what he can do from second place. Sindra has been quick. Well, he was very fast, wasn't he, in the previous season in that Genesis, which I kept calling an Aston Martin. I know, I got it wrong. And there you go. We missed the lights there, we missed the klaxon, but it finally sounded. They are off. It looked like Sindra trying to make an attack early, trying to look for a way past Chris. He's trying to put that pressure on early doors. Chris is going to maintain that race lead for the meantime, though. So Ben is there in third place. SV5 up to fourth. Cloud fifth. RZ sixth. Isaac seventh. Name is currently ninth, but Tieps looking like he's going up the inside. He's got that move done. Is Keplero going to follow him through as well? Keplero trying to follow through as well, and he's managed to get it done as well. So Tieps is up to 8th. Keplero 9th. Name is down to 10th. Brexit Giza, he's there in 11th place. We've got Viking Dog is up to 12th. Iggy 13th, BX 14th, and Distinct Marco in 15th. And there's a bit of contact there. It's getting all a bit out of shape towards the back of the field. In fact, I think that might be where the battle's going to be happening at the moment. We've got some of the faster drivers trying to come through. We've got BX and Iggy side by side. Iggy looking for a way past Viking Dog. Oh, he's got a little bit congested, hasn't it? Ooh, I think we've got somebody was ghosting there. Somebody was inside. So we've got SV5 and Brexit Geese are actually inside each other at the moment. What is going on there? I'm not too sure what happened there, but it has all got a little bit congested and a little bit messy towards the back of the field with the faster guys trying to make their way through. A little bit hard to keep track of what's going on. Distinct Marco still not managing to make a place. As I say that, he just has. He's moved up to 14th, but he's got Keplero. Keplero dropping to 15th place. It's all got a bit messy. I think it's going to be oh, there is their shenanigans as they come into turn one. Oh my god. How Iggy coming off worse out of that. Iggy, that's unlucky, man. Somebody just shuffled him out. That's going to be under investigation from the stewards for sure. I think it was all just a little bit too congested. Everyone wanted to make up positions there, and Iggy being the unfortunate victim. Also, Brexit Geezer getting shuffled a little bit back down the order as well. So we'll go on board with the race leader. He's actually managed to stretch his legs a little bit, is Chris. I wondered if he may have done that on the reverse grid, so it's worked out in his favour at the moment. If he manages to conserve them tyres and get a decent stint out of them softs, he should surely, if he has no mistakes, bring home the bacon. Sindra currently sat in second place. He's dropping off the back of Chris now. Just not looking like he's got the pace that he had last season, but he's still currently second place on lap 2. Obviously still early doors. But he's just letting Chris get away at the moment. Chris is just sailing off into the sunset. He's now nearly 3 seconds ahead. Ben not letting Sindra get away, is he? He was, but yeah, he's still within that slipstream range. Definitely trying to keep it there, isn't he? That Ford GT does look like a bit of an animal. It's a very, well, it's a powerhouse, isn't it? Everyone knows that, but a little bit unstable sometimes. Kyle's up to 4th. Not really having the best of races in the first race, but he's doing alright at the moment. He's got Isaac Mitch though. Isaac Mitch is going to be starting to pressure him soon. And who's that up ahead? I think it was Ben, wasn't it? Ben has managed to get a move done on Sindra. So Sindra dropped to 3rd place. Ben is up to 2nd. I did say it, didn't it? I called it. That thing is a powerhouse. He's managed to get past Sindra. Also in another powerhouse though, the Corvette is a decent car, isn't it? Kyle now putting that BRZ for his paces though. He's all over the back of Syndra. He's looking to try and find a way through. Will he get it done? So quick on board as he tries to set the move up on Syndra. Almost glanced. Just realised I was on mute. So Kyle still currently in second place, 8.6 seconds behind our race leader, who's got a fantastic lead now. But Kyle is going to lose that second place. I don't know where he picked up that penalty. It must be track limit somewhere. But that is harsh. That is a really severe penalty. And he is surely going to lose that place to Isaac, if not Syndra as well. Syndra may also get through. So that's heartbreak for Kyle. Look how much has slowed him down. So Isaac definitely getting through. Syndra's managed to get through as well. TX is through also. Name is as well. Yeah, Kyle, unlucky Kyle. He's dropped all the way down to 8th, down to 9th, maybe even further. So Isaac Mitch now up to 2nd place. Syndra still there in 3rd. He doesn't want to lose that slipstream though, does he? He needs to try and stay within that 2nd gap. I think it's actually more like 0.8, isn't it? Isn't it around 0.8? Yeah, so he's definitely out of slipstream range now. What can he do? Can he bridge that gap and try and pull away from the rest of the field? He has got a nice gap though now, hasn't he, to TX. TX is up to 4th in the M6. So we're having a decent outing in this feature race. 10 minutes in now. Look at them penalties behind, so TX, he's definitely got the pressure off him now, hasn't he? He knows that Name is behind him, has got a 2.5 second penalty. BX also with a half a second penalty. So that's not going to slow him down too much, but Viking Dog's going to manage to get through. I think he's going to get past both of them, to be honest. We'll stay on board with Viking Dog just to see how it pans out. And it did pan out how I thought it would, so he's up to 5th place now, Viking Dog. He's got BX behind him in 6th. Brexit Geezer, 7th. He was looking to go the long way round on BX, but he's going to settle behind him for the meantime. Kyle down to 8th now. What can he do? Can he salvage some positions? Kepler in 9th. So he dropped all the way to the back of the field. He's now back up to 9th place. We've got RZ there in 10th. Distinct Marco making up a few places now. He's up to 11th. Name is. He's there in 12th. Iggy's actually managed to make a place. He's up to 13th. So Ben dropping all the way down to 14th now. What happened to Ben? Ben must have had a moment. He's miles off the field. That was the position that Iggy was in before, but now the roles are reversed. So Chris, still currently your race leader. He's still fastest man on track. Now with a 10-second gap to Isaac Mitch in 2nd place. Where is he? There he is, there's Isaac. He's in 2nd place currently. He's got a nice 1.5 second gap to Syndra, so he's got a nice bit of breathing space now. He doesn't have to worry about trying to put in them purple laps, not unless he wants that extra point. Maybe he's going to save that for his soft stint, which will be coming up shortly. TX back into that slipstream range of Syndra. How close is Syndra to Isaac? No, still 1.5. So what can TX do in that M6? Is he going to be able to put any impact on Syndra, who's up ahead in that Corvette? He's also got the he's actually in a Corvette sandwich at the moment, so Viking Dog behind him there. That's Syndra's teammate, may be able to come and assist. Currently having to defend against BX though. These two were having a mammoth battle, weren't they, in the sprint? Cracking battle from them two. And Isaac, Iggy, and who else was it? Brexit Geezer, still there in 7th place. Looking like he's also been conserving his tyres though. So doing really well on them mediums at the moment. Kyle, still there in 8th. Not really managing to make an impact at the moment. He's not managing to salvage any positions. Keplero, he's there in 9th. RZ, he's the second of the two Porsches in 10th. Name is looking quick now. He looks like he may be able to pressure RZ into turn 1. We'll have to wait and see. Too early to call. Oh, I forgot about the coffee. Nice, lukewarm coffee. Whoop, whoop. Distinct marker now at 12. Very quick, wasn't he, in the first race, in the sprint race was Marco. And Iggy not too far behind him now in 13th. Obviously Iggy had dropped all the way down, well, probably to where Ben was, so great pace at the moment from Iggy. Maybe he can still salvage a few more positions. Ben, he's got a lot of work to do, hasn't he? But he's starting to, it does look like he had started to reel Iggy in slightly. As I say, he has got a lot of work to do. He's 19 seconds, 19 and a half seconds off of Iggy, 41.2. So coming up to a minute behind Chris, who's still got a healthy 10-second lead over the rest of the field. His lap times have started dropping off slightly, but nobody's taken that fastest lap yet. Isaac Mitch is still there in second place. So Isaac Mitch having a great drive at the moment. Who's got the more fuel actually? So yeah, looking like Chris has used a bit more of them, well, a lot more of them softs. He's choosing the softs in his first stint. Isaac's on the mediums. So yeah, Chris is obviously, he's going for a fast first stint. I do feel like them softs are going to start running out soon. He may have to pit fairly soon, probably around the 20-minute mark, maybe sooner. Fancy the rest of the guys around the 25-minute mark, maybe sooner, depending on how they feel with them tyres. Maybe fuel not going to be such an... Oh, so we got Viking Dog. Viking Dog now managed to get past his teammate Sindra, and he's passed BX as well. He was behind BX, wasn't he? So Viking Dog up to third place currently. Sindra sat behind him in fourth. He's going to try and hold the rest of the field up, I fancy. BX there in fifth, but he's being challenged by Brexit Geezer. Brexit Geezer all over the back of him now. He's looked quick all night though, hasn't he, as Brexit Geezer. Up to sixth currently. Kyle up to seventh, but he can't stop getting them penalties. He's got another 2-second penalty, so that's going to cost him. He's going to drop behind. Well, he's definitely going to drop behind TF. TF is going to get through. All four of them cars got through. Kyle, what are you doing, bruv? So Brexit Geezer still pressuring BX. He's trying to... Well, BX has had to cover the inside, hasn't he? So he's going to have to go the long way round, but is he going to go for the switch back? He fancies it, doesn't he? He's trying to set it up. Not quite that time around. Is he going to get him as they come up to this next turn? I think he's dropped off too much though. It wasn't close enough that time around to go for a move, so he's still currently 6th place. I do fancy he wants that 5th, doesn't he, off of BX. BX is going to have to be careful. So Tiaps is 7th. I think he moved a bit further up the field, hadn't he? But obviously dropping a few places. Aero is there in 8th. Distinct Marco now up to 9th place. He was 12th last time we looked. Name is... Hello, Mr. Oblique. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining the stream. So Name is there in 10th. Kyle is 11th. RZ is 12th, Iggy is 13th, and Ben all the way down in 14th. So Chris has now entered the pits. Isaac Mitch is going to become your new race leader. Will the undercut work out for Chris? It'll be interesting. We'll have to see what happens with the remainder of this race. Obviously nearly 20 minutes in, nearly halfway through. And Mr. Oblique, if this is your first time joining us, obviously this is the Aero League races in Tier 1. And we're here in Interlagos. I'm your boy Vexed, it's Vex Man. And and I'll be your commentator for this evening.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for joining. Obviously, it makes my job a lot easier when we've got people that do interact. He has got a great looking livery there, hasn't he? The Axe Media livery. In fact, everyone with some great liveries on display tonight. Got Viking Dog there as well. He's up to second place now after Chris served his pit stop. Where did Chris come out? So I think it'll be a one stop. Obviously, Chris was the first guy to go in. I think he was the only person opting to run the softs for the first stint. As Syndra and BX now having a battle. Looking like BX nearly got that move done, didn't it? Is he going to manage to get it done? He's still got Brexit there as well. Brexit Geezer. So BX and Brexit up to 4th and 5th. Obviously, because Chris served that pit stop. Syndra now up to 3rd. So Brexit Geezer's there. TX is in 6th place. Keplero GT 7th. Distinct Marco is 8th. So Syndra now into the pits. He's the first guy on the mediums into the pits. Iggy up to 10th place. RZ. He's there in 11th. Now starting to try and pressure Iggy. Is there anything he can do to get past him? I'm not sure. I think he might have to wait to the pit. So Syndra is going to pull in, change them tyres, fuel up. Chris is now out on fresh mediums and he's got more fuel in that car. He was the race leader, currently sat in 12th place. He's got 17 seconds between him and RZ, but obviously the guys up ahead of him are going to have to pit as well. So maybe that undercut is going to work out in his favour. Syndra is now coming out on a fresh set of softs. Ben is going to get past him, is he? Oh, no, I don't think he is. So he's managed to catch up to Syndra. What he want to do is try and get in that slipstream and use Syndra to pull him on to the rest of the pack. He is looking... he hasn't got a lot of fuel left in that car. So Isaac, still currently a race leader. He's in the Axe Media AMG GT3. I believe that's the earlier version of the two. I can't remember which year it is. I want to say it's a 2016 and a 2018 model, and this would be the 2016, but it could even be 2016 and 2023, possibly. It might be this year's model that I can't remember who else. I think it's BX. In fact, no, BX is Isaac's teammate, isn't it? So it'd be the other two AMG guys. So Viking Dog still currently sat in second place. He is 4.2 seconds behind Isaac. BX has dropped a little way off the back of him now, hasn't he? He's now got T-Apps trying to pressure him for that 3rd place. Looking like he wants that podium, but I do fancy these guys that have stayed out. Probably a lot of them will come into the pits now. BX, he's absolutely trashed them tyres, hasn't he? In fact, T-Apps has definitely got the grip advantage now. May be able to set up a move as he come through the S's. BX defending really well though. They've also got Distinct Marco now to 5th place. Can he make any more positions up before he pits? He's done great though, hasn't he? He's done really well to get so far through the field. Obviously starting dead last after winning the sprint. Not really making an impact towards the start of the race, but just over halfway. He's found his way up to 5th place. T-Ep still firmly pressuring BX in 3rd. I think BX is definitely going to pit now though, isn't he? Or is he? Does he fancy another lap on them tyres? And no, they've all pitted off into the pits. It's very close though, isn't it? Let's hope they don't collide. So Isaac Mitch staying out. He fancies another lap or two. Kyle as well. Kyle up to 2nd place now. He's 9.9 seconds off the back of Isaac. He's also stayed out. He fancies another lap. Paying off for him at the moment. He's up to 2nd place. His favoured track position, but will it pay off in the long run? Because I think the undercut is quite powerful around here. So Chris now back up to 3rd place. That undercut definitely worked for him at the moment, but he's 23rd 3 seconds off the back of Kyle and Isaac, so maybe Kyle and Isaac can break into that magical window that we often talk about, where you can pit and come out and still be ahead of the car behind. I do fancy that Isaac is going to still be ahead after he pits. But Chris has got great pace on the mediums, hasn't he, at the moment. Still with the fastest lap as well, for 1:30.8. Be interesting to see if anyone manages to break that. So Sindra, after his pit, he's come out in 4th place. He was behind his teammate, so maybe he's under-fueled slightly. And indeed, Viking Dodd has taken... I know he pitted before, didn't he? So he pitted before his teammate. Isaac Mitch now into the pits. We're going to have to watch that and see where he comes out. Distinct Marco down to 6th. But that's because Chris has obviously come back through. In fact, we're going to have to go on board with Chris, aren't we? As he comes up to the... Yeah, he's coming up to the pit now. It is very good for close racing, Mr. Oblique. Does lend itself very well to that. And in fact, Chris he's managed to take the race lead, or has he? I think Isaac is going to come out just behind him, is he? Come on, Isaac. Here he comes, he's coming. Chris has managed to take the race lead again. He's a little way up the road now. Isaac, is he going to stay ahead of Viking Dog? I think he is. He's only 4.5 seconds behind Chris, so what can he do? He's on racing softs. That is a gap we're going to have to watch, because I do fancy that he's got a good chance, hasn't he, on them racing softs. Chris has used them tyres for a couple of laps now. In fact, I think 4 or 5, if I had to guess. Can't we, on the right? So lap 14 was when he pitted. Was it not? I think lap 14 was when he pitted, yeah. So he's done nearly 3 laps on these tyres, nearly 3 laps old. Isaac is on brand new softs, and he's looking to try and chip into that gap. He started to. He's already taken 100. He'd taken 200s out of it, but slowly creeping back up. I think as they come along the start finish, and now it's going back down again, isn't it? So definitely starting to eat into that gap, but he is going to have to watch out for Viking Dog, who is slowly creeping up onto him. He's managed to get past Sindra again now as well. He's only 0.5 off the back of Isaac, so definitely he's going to be getting the benefit of that slipstream now, isn't he? And if they are working as a team, I imagine Sindra, now he's dropped off the back of his teammate, is probably going to be holding the rest of the field up, or at least trying to. Because Distinct Marco is starting to get up there as well. Distinct Marco taking the fastest lap now. He's got a 1:30.4. He's on them racing softs as well. And he is starting to close that gap to Sindra. Sindra is going to have to start going defensive very soon. I think we've got another battle forming in the background there as well between BX and Brexit still. These two still at it. They've been at it for several laps now. Brexit geezer doing absolutely fantastically in that 911, and BX doing really well in that AMG as well, isn't he? Aero, he's up to 8th place. He's doing well in that 4GT as well. Iggy up to 9th now. Tiep's behind him in 10th, so Tiep's losing out a few positions. Name is not too far off the back of him in 11th place. Kyle all the way down in 12th now. RZ 13th, and Ben is 14th. He's now 32 seconds off the back of RZ. So Chris still out of the front at the moment, but only a 2.9 second lead now. Isaac is definitely starting to gain on him, but he has also got Viking Dog. Viking Dog is all over the back of him now. He's definitely well within that slipstream range. He's looking to try and keep it consistent, isn't he? And just wait for Isaac to maybe make a mistake, open the door, and he'll surely send one through it. So the battle at the front of the field firmly heating up. That's definitely a bit of a forbidden view, foreboding view out the back window of Isaac Mitch's car, looking back towards Viking Dog in that Corvette. He's not giving him an inch, is he? Will he go and sling it up the inside as he comes into turn one? He's having a look, he's having a look, he is having a look! So not quite managing to get it done that time, but look how close he is. Isaac's going to have to cover off the inside this time round, isn't he? Showing Viking Dog the long way round. He's going to edge him out slightly. He's giving him plenty of room though. Oh no! Viking Dog having a bit of a moment. Hopefully that won't slap him with a penalty. I'll be very unlucky if it does. And I think he's just got away with it. He's actually not lost too much momentum against Isaac there as well. Managing to maintain that gap. Come back to these two in a minute. So distinct Marco now to 4th place. He's looking very pacey on them softs. Sindra up to 5th, or is he down to... No, he's actually down to 5th. And Brexit Geezer managing to find his way past BX finally. So he missed that one as well. Seemingly missing a few of the overtakes this evening, but that's just how it goes sometimes. And Brexit Geezer looking to take that 5th position away from Sindra. Sindra holding the outside line. Brexit Geezer's going to have the up the inside surely, and he does. So Sindra dropping to 6th place. Brexit Geezer, he's on a charge as well, isn't he? Can he get onto the back of Distinct Marco, maybe break into that top 3? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Sindra, he just seemed to do the same in the first race, didn't he? Just dropping down the order. He's down to 6th. He's not dropped off the back of Brexit Geezer just yet, but it looks like he's struggling to hold on. The X-Royal down to 7th now. 2.8 seconds, 2.7 off the back of Sindra. Aero currently 8th. He's getting into that window, isn't he? He's getting into the slipstream window of BX just up ahead of him. Iggy not too far off the back of him, so Iggy managing to salvage a couple of positions after getting shuffled out at the start. Tieps is there in 10th place. Kyle, every time I seem to come on board with Kyle, he's got a penalty. That's unlucky, Kyle. He's having an absolutely terrible evening tonight, isn't he? He's got a 3-second penalty again. That's surely going to drop him down the order. RZ is definitely going to get through. Name is going to get through. Ben, he's not going to get through, is he? But RZ is going to find himself down in 13th position again. Or Kyle, sorry. Kyle was going to find himself down in his 13th position again, and he does. So RZ moving through to 11th place. Name is 12th. Kyle, sadly, that's unlucky. Kyle dropping down to 13th. He's not got to worry about losing that place to Ben, not just yet. Ben still in 14th. He's still in it though, isn't he? He's still bringing that car home to the finish line. Isaac! So Chris, where's Chris gone? Isaac now race leader. Chris dropping to 2nd place. thought we were going to see this happen. Viking Dog as well. I think that was Viking Dog we saw going off in the background there. That's unlucky, Viking. He was doing so well, wasn't he? Chris was doing really well as well. I think the grip on their medium's just falling away now. He's lost that position now to Distinct Marco up to second place. And Viking Dog being slapped with a penalty as well. He's out of that front running for the podium, isn't he? He's going to lose that position to Brexit Geezer, surely. Brexit Geezer now is going to move through to 4th place. What can Isaac do? Can he hold on to that first position? We're going to have to stay on board with these guys for a minute, aren't we? Because I think that first place battle is going to start heating up. And I said it, didn't I? Brexit Geezer has moved through to 4th place. I'm not too sure how far behind him Viking Dog is, but that was unlucky, Viking Dog. So actually, looking at Isaac's looked at his tyres a bit better than Distinct Marco. Distinct Marco having to push to try and make his way through the field. So maybe Isaac, maybe he can hold on to it. I'd like to see him pull a bit more of a gap. It's a tall order though, isn't it, with Marco behind you. Obviously Marco fastest guy on track at the moment, a 1:30.2. Isaac's fastest is a 1:30.6. He is managing to maintain that gap though. It's very consistent at the moment. He's not making it easy for Marco. But it's looking like Marco's going to start breaking into that slipstream range anytime soon. Isaac Mitch doing a great job at the moment of keeping that gap consistent. He's not allowing Marco to break into that slipstream range just yet. He's getting there though, he is working on it. Chris now dropping 2.8 seconds behind. And he's done it, he's broken into it. We may be able to see a move, or see Marco start trying to set up a move on Isaac, who's desperately trying to hold on to that first place. Come on, Isaac. I think he's going to get it done. It's looking like that. Lexus is a force to be reckoned with. Unable to move over. I think Marco's going to have the inside here, and he does. He manages to move into the race lead, but Isaac, he comes back, does he? Come on, Isaac. And he does, he's got a grip advantage. He manages to get back through, retaking the race lead. That's a great battle with these two. Marco moving over to the inside again. He's going to try and take that race lead away from Isaac. Isaac holding on for dear life. Still side by side. Tiny bit of contact there. Oh, and that was a ballsy move from Isaac. From Marco, sorry. Has Isaac got an answer? I think he's got the better tyre still. If you look at the tyre graphic, it does look like he has got the better tyres. I do fancy he may be able to retake that race lead. Or will Marco just breeze off into the distance? He's not letting him do so at the moment. I think we've got a battle heating up in the background as well. between Viking Dog and Brexit Geezer. He's still got the pace advantage though, even though Isaac's got the better tyres. Trying to break the toe now. And it looked like Chris actually going really defensive there against Brexit Geezer. So Brexit Geezer trying to look way past Chris now. Can he find his way through? I thought the battle was between Viking Dog and Brexit Geezer, but I think it's actually between Brexit and Chris in third place. Chris desperately trying to hold on to that third place now. It's going to be coming up to the final lap, isn't it, surely? It's a heartbreak for Chris there. He had the race lead, didn't he? But I think the tyres just fading a little bit. They sometimes, you hit a lap, don't you, on the mediums, and they seem to fade. And oh, I think he's got it done. He's got it done. Brexit Geezer. He's moved up to third place. Chris dropping down to fifth. He's going to lose it. Oh no! Contact between him and Viking. Viking taking advantage there. He's moved up to fourth place. I think that will be under review though. But then, I do feel like Chris, he had lost it slightly, hadn't he? So, I don't know, maybe they'll call it a racing incident. But distinct, Marco, what an absolute cracking run he's had tonight. He won the sprint race. He's now going to win the feature. He takes the checker flag there. Isaac coming in second place. Great racing there from Isaac. Brexit Geezer, third place. Viking Dog, fourth. Aero GT fifth. BX 6th, Iggy 7th, TX 8th, Chris 9th, Sindra 10th, Name is 11th, RZ 12th, Kyle 13th. That's oh no, Kyle. I think Kyle's had enough of that BRZ already. he's trying to trash it and maybe get a new car for next week. Well, that was it, guys. That was the feature race. It has been a good one tonight, hasn't it? There's been some cracking racing on track from the Aero League Racers Tier 1 drivers. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. Good night.